What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Designsmith. Today I want to talk to you about setting up margins and bleeds for your posters. This is a very important skill to master, especially if you're working with print designs and making posters. So I have a document set up here. This artboard is 18 by 24 inches. And the first thing that we need to do is bring up our rulers by hitting Command or Control R on our keyboards. And let's go up here to View and make sure that guides are unlocked, and they are. If they were locked already, this would show unlock guides. And let's also make sure that snap to grid is checked. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to show you is setting up your bleeds. So this is going to be the most important thing to set up, because if you're printing an 18 by 24 inch poster, your artboard size is not 18 by 24 inches. So let's hit Shift O on our keyboard, and right up here at the top, you'll see that this is 18¼ inches and 24¼ inches. And in general, I've been using an 1/8 of an inch bleed on all sides for over 10 years for doing all of my posters and all of my printing. And I've never had a single printer come back to me and say, we need more space for bleed. So the first thing we need to do here is set up where our bleed marks are going to be. And that's actually pretty simple. All we have to do is pull out a guide from the ruler over here. And this is a good thing to know. In addition to all of the elements that could possibly be on your poster, you can also use your Align panel to align your grid lines. So we're going to do that by selecting this grid line, and let's move this to 1/8 of an inch. And that's on the X axis, which means it's going horizontally. And then we'll pull down one from the Y axis that's going vertically, and we want to make sure that that is also at 1/8 of an inch right here. The X value does not matter. And we'll do the same thing on the right side, and we'll make sure that everything is lined up exactly where they need to go. All right, good. So now here on all four sides, these are your guidelines for your bleed. And I'll show you exactly what this illustrates by putting a couple of yellow boxes right here. Now, I'm not going to go all the way to the left, all the way down to the bottom, and fill in the other two sides, but what this is communicating to the printer is that everything inside these two guides is your final trim size. So that means once your poster is printed and trimmed out, then your final size will be 18 by 24 inches. And you can measure that with a T-square, a tape measure, whatever you're using to measure the poster. The final trim size will be 18 by 24, but the design file size is 18¼ by 24¼ Okay, so now that we've got bleed down and you know how to set that up, let's set up your poster margins. Now, these will be entirely dependent on what kind of poster you're making. In general, you want your margins to be at least 1/2 inch, although I use a minimum of 1 inch. Sometimes I go 1.5, and other times I may go up to 2 inches, but it's usually 1 to 1.5 inches. And then we'll do the same thing up here from the top, and you can kind of eyeball it, but then you can double check to make sure right up here on the transform panel. And then we'll do the same thing over here. And also keep in mind, you can use your Align panel on your guides. So let's select this guide right here. And let's go to Align to and make sure that Align to Artboard is checked. And we can go up here to Horizontal Align Right and click on that. And then hit Enter on our keyboards and type in -1, and we'll just set vertical to 0. And one quick way to make sure that your guides are exactly where they need to be is to create a square right here. And if you've got the same exact width and height, then your guide is in the correct place. And let's set the bottom guides right here. Okay, perfect. So we have all of those guides set up right there. Now, you've probably heard the term safe area before, and the safe area is generally determined by the designer. If you are the one that's designing this poster, then you are determining what the safe area is. Unless the printer gives you any additional specifications, your safe area is going to be everything within the margin. So let's do our yellow box right here, and let's identify what all of these different zones are, okay? So we've got this right up here, the outer edge. This is the bleed area. So basically everything that's on this side of the guide going up, and this side of the guide going left, and the same thing going on with the right side of the bottom side, everything that's yellow right here is going to be trimmed away. And you're going to be left with a final size of 18 by 24 inches once that bleed is trimmed away. And then this area right here where you see the white, this is the margin area. Now, that doesn't mean that every poster is going to have this white box around it. Let's say that you wanted to extend the yellow. You can do that, but don't do this. Don't extend it up to the bleed lines. You want to extend it beyond the bleed lines right here. So that way when they go to trim this, the yellow will be printed edge to edge. So if you wanted to do something like this, let's just say you wanted to create a big huge text box right here. And let's zoom back in. Everything that is in this space right here is your margin, and your elements such as text, your artwork, whatever you have that's going to be on the poster is going to be starting within this area. Now, that's not to say that you can't go beyond the margins right here, but just be really careful that you don't go here, which is your true edge to the poster, because this area is going to be trimmed away. So in cases like this, what I like to do is I like to set kind of an additional safe area right here, where I say I don't go beyond these bounds right here. This is my margin, but this is my extra safe area, and everything beyond this you can call the danger zone. So I really love good color codings here. So we've got the margin area, which is everything right here in this area. This orange zone is kind of like, okay, you can go up to here, but don't go past this area into the danger zone. Because any kind of element in the danger zone, if it starts to approach this, then it's going to be a lot more likely to be cut off when it's finally trimmed out. Alright, well, I really hope this video was helpful to you. If you wouldn't mind, please hit like and subscribe at the bottom. It really does help me with the YouTube algorithm and growing my channel. If you have any questions about any of this, please feel free to post down in the comments. I try my best to respond to everybody and engage as much as I can. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.